Well, I want to see what happens if you die.
Which I'm surprised didn't happen yet.
I know.
You can go to the gallery if you want to look at the gallery.
But why would I want to do that?
Okay.
What's in... Ooh, there's ghosts in the gallery.
Yeah, you can see all the paintings that you got. It's a painting gallery.
There's a lot of bronze.
You wanted to see what it's like when you die.
Yeah.
Now you can see what... Yeah,
My dad...
You're still not at full health.
Oh my god. One thing my dad was annoyed by when I was a kid was the fact that I wanted...
You were around?
Probably. I had a thing where I like to see what pause menus look like in games, because we were playing Army Men Sarge's Heroes, and I paused the game. He's like, "Why'd you do that?" Like, I want to see what it looked like. It's like, it looks like that. It's nothing interesting.
Well, did you like repeatedly pause it, or like
No, just
pause a game once?
Just randomly once while we were playing.
Okay.
And he was like, "Why?" I was just like, "I thought it'd be cool." It's like, "Well, it's not."
Okay. Fuck you. Fuck you and your dreams.
Yeah. Also, Army Man Sarge's Heroes, pretty good game.
Okay.
I like it.
There's a boo in here.
Where?
In the room.
No. That mean I'm gonna get all this fucking dirt out first. Because like, he's down low enough where...
He moved.
Yeah. Like, the dirt is...
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Like that. Yeah, it did. Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
You saw that, right? Don't worry. That's just how this is how it works.
That's just how 2001 Nintendo games go.
There's also a lot of hearts in this room, by the way.
I wish I knew that. Alright. So now I'm at full health.
It was literally adjacent to the room you died to. It was all this health. It was a ball.
Didn't know that. Because I
More
thought
health.
hearts were further away. Like, that's the whole reason I'm like, I'm going to see if...
You didn't ask.
Well, yes, because usually when I ask you a question, you're like, man...
You didn't ask me a question. Buripides. Yeah, you left. Good job.
God damn it.
There's one by the door.
I didn't see it.
That's what you used earlier.
I know.
To get the moves like you're about to be doing right now. He's in that room. You have to go get the key. You have an issue.
Yep.
Alright, you ready for another joke?
Alright.
So this kid, he's gonna get ready for prom. He's got himself a prom date. He has to go get the stuff for the prom. So he decides to get up extra early to have extra time to go get the things he needs. And he heads up, and he goes to the tuxedo place to get his rental. And he gets there, and there's a big long line. All the kids from his school, all the kids from nearby schools, all in line waiting to get their tuxedos. So he waits in line like a couple hours. So he gets up, he gets there, he gets fitted, he puts it on, it looks good, he's pretty happy with it. And he's like, okay, now I have to go get the corsage, the little flower thing. So he heads to the florist. And when he gets there, there's another big long line of kids. All the kids from his school getting their flowers for the dance. They were like the day of course. So he gets there, and he has to wait in line for like 45 minutes. He goes through the line, he gets the flower, it's looking pretty good. And he's like, you know what, I got some time left over. He left early enough. So he decides to go the extra mile, go get like a little box of chocolates. He wants to be a little romantic guy. So he goes to like Walgreens. And he gets a little box of those like that nice chocolates, like Ferrero Rocher or something.
Yeah.
So he gets the little chocolate, and he goes to the cashier, and there's a couple people in line, and there's like an old lady like counting out change, and he's sitting there like, all right, come on, let's go. So he gets to the line, he buys his thing, he's nice, hops in the car, he heads home, he He gets cleaned up and he gets changed to his tux, and he heads into the car and he heads to go pick up his date. And they make it just in time for the prom, perfectly on time. Timed it exactly. So he gets there, and there's a line of kids to go through. They'll get their tickets. They go inside, and they're having fun. They're listening to music. They're dancing with friends. They're getting, just having a good time. And at one point, he says to his date, "Oh, I'm a bit thirsty right now. I'm gonna go get a drink." And she says, "Oh, okay. Could you get me something too?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So he heads over, and to his surprise, there was no punchline.
As soon as you started telling this joke, I'm like, I remember this joke, and it's still funny. I guess it's still one of my favorites. There's just no punchline.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I don't know. You want to hear another joke?
If they make it this far, is going to be mad at that joke. Because that's how I was the first time I heard it. I'm like... Because I remember my verbal response was very loudly saying, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Here, you want to see something funny? I want to show you something funny. Give me this. Just give me it for 5 seconds. There we go. Missed it.
That's great.
Bye. Sayonara. You're almost done with the game.
I know. I got 4 boos.
All right, you want to hear another joke?
Alright.
So a lady goes to get some groceries. And she gets exactly 3 items in her little basket. She gets a cucumber, a thing of bread, and a can of soup. Just some little ingredients, some stuff she needed. And she gets up to the cashier, and it's not very busy, not much of a line. And he looks inside the cart, and he goes, "You know what? I can tell that you're single." And she looks at the cart, a little confused, and she goes, "Oh, okay, how could you tell?" And then the cashier says, "Because you're ugly."
That's almost like that one scene in Regular Show where it's like, where they take Muscle Man to the grocery store to pick up girls. Oh my god.
Boo Rapides left. It's Archimedes.
They both did.
Yep. Which joke did you like more? Oh, that dust is back. That's surprisingly effective. You're still laughing at it, aren't you?
You're ugly.
Because you're...
I think just because you're ugly, because it was just like very brutal and to the point.
Especially right after that last joke, that long delivery.
Yeah. Aha! Do. Alright. But in Regular Show, Mordecai and Rigby take Muscle Man to the grocery store and it's like, yeah, this is the greatest place to pick up single ladies. It's like, well, how do you know if they're single? See that girl over there? She has a cracked singles pack of cheese, 1 banana.
And they're like, oh my god.
It's like, see, just go talk to her. Then he does, and then he just like, and then it just has like an episode, because it was the episode where Starla broke up with him.
Starla!
Yeah, where that line came from. Alright, so we're
upstairs.
It's this way.
Want to hear another joke?
Alright.
So this guy, he's in his car. He's driving around, middle of the day. He had the day off work. And he comes up to a light near a really busy intersection. And he stopped there. And up behind him, a couple cars pull up. And right behind him is a hearse, which he pays no mind to. He sees it in the mirror and goes, oh, okay, there's a couple cars. And then he hears a loud crash and a thud. Bump. And then he hears, ba-dump, ba-dump, ba-dump. And he's like, what the heck is that? Very, very ominous noise. So he looks out. He looks out his mirror and he sees a coffin is on the ground. And the coffin, but it's like bouncing on the ground. And he's like, what the heck? He gets out of his car to look at what's going on, and he sees the coffin slowly approaching him. And he freaks out. And he goes, okay, I gotta get out of here. This thing is after me, whatever this is. So he's looking around. He sees the traffic. There's a lot of traffic, so he can't really like turn. He can get in the car and drive away. So he just takes down the sidewalk. And he's just running down the sidewalk. And as he's running, he looks back and he sees and that coffin turns the corner. It's chasing him. He's like, oh, it's definitely after me. So he's running. And he runs a little bit. And he runs into like the market district. And he goes to a nearby store and he goes, maybe I could go into the store and go out the back, maybe lose it that way. So he goes in and he sees an old man at the register. It's like a little like antique looking shop. And he goes, sir, could I use your back door? Could I get through your back? And he goes, well, no, I can't really let anyone back there unless they're at least a paying customer. And he goes, well, okay, well, what's your cheapest thing you have? And he's like, well, this is really an antique store. I don't really have like cheap things. And he's like, okay, well, how about this thing? It's like this little like crystal ball thing on the counter. And he goes, that's $80. And he goes, that's $80? This like little paperweight? And he was like, yeah, it's old, it's nice. And he was like, how about this one? And he points out another much smaller version of what he had picked up. And he was like, well, that was actually 105. And he goes, well, how is that one more? And he's like, well, it's smaller, it's finer craftsmanship, it's a bit older. He's like, this guy seems to know his stuff. And then he hears ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And then the coffin crashes in through the window and starts tearing down starts knocking everything over. And the old man's freaking out. He's like, oh my God, this is my store. My lifelong journey is this store. And the guy who's being chased is like, oh, okay, there's a bit of confusion going on right now. So he just bolts through the back and he finds his way to the back door and he just runs out back. And he looks behind and you can hear the coffin, ba-dum, ba-dum, it's just crashing around, destroying a whole bunch of stuff. And ooh, baby, a triple. Just put that on there. Anyway. He takes off through the back. The old man, it's his old antique store, but he's got insurance, so yeah, he'll be covered. But still, you don't want that to happen to your shop. All the stuff getting destroyed. So he heads out, and there's like a little bit of a road back there, and he's a little stop sign nearby. And someone on a bike comes up and stops at the light, and he goes, "Sir, could you take me somewhere?" And he's like, "Oh, no, this is like a one-seater. I can't take you anywhere." And the guy. Was like, oh, please, I'm like getting, like, I really got to go. I don't have to go anywhere particular. I just need to, like, get moving. And he's like, wow. He's like, no, I can't really help. And then he hears, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And the coffin comes out of the back door. Ba-dum. He's chasing after him. The guy on the bike's like, what the heck is that? And, the guy, he's like, well, like, I really got to get here. So he kind of, like, he shoulders the guy off the bike, hops on the bike, and he takes off down the road. And the guy's like, you stole my bike. And he sees the coffin, ba-dum, 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 fade in the distance. He's like, okay. Back in his day, he used to be kind of cool. He'd ride bikes with his boys. He doesn't anymore, but he has experience with it. So he's taking off down the highway, weaving around some cars, and he's doing pretty good. He's chilling. He's like, all right, cool, I got away. And then somehow he just hears, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And he's like, what the heck? And he looks behind him, and he sees on a bike is the coffin leaning on the bike, on another bike somewhere. And he's like, what? How? That doesn't make any sense. Some sort of astral form or something is helping, like, guide the bike. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what's going on with his coffin. And so he's freaking out. He's like, oh, crap. He's looking around, and he sees a state road. And so he's like, all right, I'm going to go down there, see what I can figure out. He goes down the state road. He takes a turn. There's some fields nearby. He looks over the fields, and he sees a bunch of hot air balloons getting set up. There's a hot air balloon festival. So he turns over there. He parks the bike. He leaves the key in it. Just in case, like, the guy somehow manages to find it, or, like, someone finds it, this is the keys with it, so, okay, fine, whatever. And he heads over, and it's the hot air balloon people, and he's like, hey, can I get a ride in one of these? And they go, yeah, sure, you just have to buy a ticket. And he goes, oh, okay, how much is the ticket? And he says, well, $120. He goes, oh, that's a lot. Well, and he reaches for his pocket, but he realizes that he left it in his car. He kind of bothers his hips when he's sitting on it for too long, so he takes it out of his pocket when he's sitting in the car, and that's where he was earlier. He was like, oh, I don't have any money on me. Can I buy a ticket later? And they go, well, no, we really need the cash up front. You know, this is like a charity thing. And he goes, well, okay, And then he looks behind. And he sees down that state road comes that bike with the coffin on it. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And it turns over and it rolls over, and then the coffin lands on the ground. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Somehow that bike also is just kind of parked like next to his bike. Kind of weird. But so he's running around. He's like, oh crap, and everyone's like, what the heck is that? They're staring at the coffin. He goes, well, he kind of just jumps past them. They don't really notice him. And he hops into one of the baskets and starts flaring on the hot air balloon thing. And he takes off. And everyone's like, no, you can't do it. He's like, sorry, I really gotta go. And they're like, oh geez. And he's like flying up, and he's looking around. He's like, okay, I lost it. We're doing good. And he's looking around. He's like, oh, this is a really nice sunset. Look at all the tree line. You know, you don't really get to see that area, you know, from that view. He's like, you know, maybe I'll take the wife here on one of these types of trips, and that'd be pretty nice. And then he hears, he's like, what the heck is it? And he looks down, and he sees another hot air balloon rising beneath him, and in the basket is that coffin. But somehow some magical forces pulling on that little chain, getting the fire to go. And he's like, oh no, and he's looking around, he's trying to figure out what to do, and he sees his neighborhood is actually right kind of near him. And he goes, okay. So he lets off the fire, and he starts lowering it, and lowers, and it goes into. He's like, maybe I can figure something out of my house. You know, I have all my stuff there. So he kind of gets like near his house, and it kind of crash lands a bit onto the road, but he lands safe, and he puts out the little fire thingy so it doesn't like ignite or cause a big problem. And he runs into his house, and he reaches for the door. And it's locked, of course, and he realizes his keys were in his car. He's like, ah, crap, looking around, and he flips open the little map, the little welcome mat, and the key underneath, and he hears a big crash. Ba-dum, ba-dum. The coffin crashed on the ground. Ba-dum, ba-dum. He's chasing him. He unlocks the door. He runs inside. He closes the door, locks it. He runs down the hallway, runs into the bathroom, locks the door, and he hears ba-dum, ba-dum. He knocks through his front door, and he's looking around. He's like, okay, well, plunger, no, that's not useful. Toilet scrubber, not very useful. Soap, not that useful. He opens up the cupboard, and the coffin crashes into the bathroom door. And he looks around. He reaches up, and he grabs the first thing he can, and he grabs some cough medicine that makes the coffin go away.
It makes the coffin go away. I hate it.
How's Van Gogh treating you? It looks like you're getting your ass kicked a little bit, but you're making it.
Yeah.
Again, I like Van Gogh. It's a very fun designed boss.
Yeah.
Did you enter this fight with some like ice power or fire power or something to help?
Yeah, and I used it all on the Shy Guys.
That makes sense. One more. So you like that joke?
Yes. Makes the coffin go away.
Yeah. Some cough medicine.
I can't get the timing with the flashlight right, because as soon as I shine on them, they go away.
Shine on me. Well, don't point at him so quick. Let him fall. Not too quick. Woo! Too quick. You're too far away. Go a bit closer. There you go. Alright, beat Van Gogh.
That's it. Like, he just gives up.
Huh? He's lost. I also have a joke about some pink ping pong balls, but I'm gonna save you that one.
Alright. Oh.
Oh my god. Also, hang on, I gotta find something. 2.
Yeah.
At least you got the silver. There you go. Alright, I want you to look at that back wall.
Oh. You know what? Yeah.
That's pretty close, right?
Yeah, that is pretty close.
Should we take a picture of that? Also, is that Melody?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the spade key.
Cool.
Right